Jive on my mind. Yeah, yeah. Can't get enough. That's my confidant. Can't get enough. Oh, can't get enough. Can't get enough.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informante radio station.
This is Informante Radio, the sound for a new age.
We play the best of Namibian music.
Dan kom bij Hassel, je lavassel, je maro, ik zat tijd op. Mijn moeg is zo moe, weet je meer wat om precies te doen. Mijn moeg is zo moe, weet je meer wat om precies te doen. Kan niet staan, die wat is letter diep. We laat gaan, maar ons dieper als mijn ziel. Coronavirus, het alles opgeschopt, een global pandemie. Nou is alles opgemokt. Als jij jouw maas en benieren kon heen, aan jou, aan jou. Als jij jouw maas en benieren kon heen, aan jou, aan jou. Ons is maas, ons verstaan. Ons is vrouwen, we get the picture, baby. Ons voelt diep, alles op de grond. Ons gaan na, is the only way to go. Jij jouw maas en benieren kon heen, aan jou, aan jou. Als jij jouw maas en benieren kon heen, aan jou, aan jou. Jullie denken misschien ons gaan niet erg dierbij je nie. Ons zit maar net ons beste voeten voor aan mij. Daar's dingen wat ons niet op social media gaan sit nie. Want ons is eisters, maar ons is net mens. Luister hier so, my ma en pa is mos baie gevaarlike mense gewees. En hulle het gesê, ek deel nie jou hele besigheid in die straat nie. Jy hang nie jou hele was goed op social media nie. So, ons doen wat ons doen, met wat ons het, en ons gebruik ons stemme. Hey. 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 ek dink aan ons reality. As kinders het ons saam gespeel, as mense het ons saam gesing. Ons sien mekaar net op die screens, ek dink aan ons reality. Kan nie slaap, die worries laat het diep. Laat gaan, maar is dieper as my ziel. Kan nie slaap, die worries laat het diep. Laat gaan, maar is dieper as my ziel. Ons zoek joy, 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 joy. Ons zoek joy, 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 joy. Give me joy, 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 joy. Give me joy, 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 joy. Ladies, let your success make the noise.
And hello. Good morning to all our viewers and our listeners out there. Welcome to the Morning Mix. I'm joined here in studio and we have some guests here in the studio. En asseblief toch chillen nee. Gedra of jullie daar beter kan, alsjeblieft. Ja. Ja, so but before we have to gedra ourselves, nee, we first have to ungedra ourselves. And we have Kofi, good morning.
Guten Morgen.
Alles gut?
Alles gut, ja. I've
Danke,
got the news ready for us. I've
Dankeschön.
got the coronavirus cases ready for us.
Okay.
And I've got the weather
Okay.
ready for us.
I see you spotting a new
Look.
image, just
Yes.
a new look.
Do I look younger now?
You look younger.
It's
Yeah.
oil of Olay.
Is it oil of Olay?
Yes, I find.
So to all of you out there who knows Kofi, you know Kofi
Yes.
has been sporting a beard all along.
Yes.
Nou skielik het die Duitser besluit hy skeer sy baard.
Yes.
Why?
Because I've had enough of ladies kissing me all the time. Women say kissing a man with a beard is like eating soup with a fork.
Aha!
You just cannot get enough. No?
We'll ask our guests if it's
Yes.
true.
It's
later
summer.
on.
I'm cleaner. I'm to get the sun on my skin.
It's a hearty good morning to everybody out there. Kofi, let's get straight into the news. Sure. No, why did he do that now?
I don't know. You've got to open up the channel.
Really open up the channels, eh?
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. Ricardo Gustavo, one of the 10 men accused in the Fishrot case, appeared in the Windhoek High Court in what is his third attempt at securing bail in the corruption case. Addressing presiding Judge Herman Oosthuizen, Gustavo maintained his innocence, adding that the amount of media attention that their case is receiving has turned the public against them. Currently, there are 28 accused persons in the joint Namgoma Fish Court case, of which 10 are natural persons, whilst 18 are business entities. Gustavo currently faces 12 counts, including racketeering and conspiring with his Fishrot co-accused. Farmers in the Oshana region have asked government to consider establishing a quarantine facility for their livestock to reduce transportation costs and to preserve the animal health status in the region. They made the call during the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform Inception workshop for the livestock support program held at Ondangwa on Tuesday. The program is funded by the European Union under the European Development Fund 11. And finally, as Namibians approach the festive season, which is traditionally associated with activities such as social gatherings, alcohol consumption, shopping and traveling, there are fears from health professionals that the risk of COVID-19 transmission might heighten. Esther Ichua Mwanjangui, Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services, encouraged people to get vaccinated to mitigate the risk of the infection rate going up. We are approaching the festive season and continue to observe a consistent decline in new infections, hospitalizations and deaths, she said. The Deputy Minister, however, added that approaching the festive season, people still need to be vigilant and continue observing the COVID-19 protocols. Your Trustco share price today, the 17th of November, is at $1 Namibia and 99 cents per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 20 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 30 cents, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 50 cents. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informante News. Informante News. Informante News. Firm but fair.
Well,
It's
there
the
we have the news.
It's the 17th of November today.
Yes.
Exactly in a month's time. Today, in a month's time,
Right.
I will not be seeing you people
I am coming
again.
with you.
Nee,
I've had it.
ek soek nie Duitsers na by my nie.
Ja.
Yeah, just pay us our reparations, then
Ja.
we can be happy
Yes.
with each other.
Okay.
Okay, asseblief.
Right.
Die mense vra hierso, Koffie,
Hello.
is jou mag beter vandag?
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. I managed to get to the doctor at 3:45 on Monday.
Yeah.
And then only I got my medicines, but it all turned out well. It's
Okay.
all good.
Somebody also says, Koffie, your chin is naked.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you know, people are noticing things here.
Let's
Yeah.
ask the listeners and the viewers, does this look better or does the beard look better? We're having a poll.
Yeah, you should have a beer poll.
Yes. Yes.
Koffie, how does our coronavirus cases look?
Okay, let's have a look. We just need to keep in mind this story, which was the final story of the news, with the Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services, as what she said in connection with the coronavirus and the statistics as they look.
Yes.
Okay, 129,867 cases have been registered thus far in Namibia. 125,366 have recovered. 3,565 deaths thus far. Now, this death figure has been like this for quite some time, for definitely longer than a week.
Yeah.
Okay, the daily new cases,
Uh-huh.
136.
Huh?
136.
Nou, wat dit nou getuiere aangaan.
It's just going down. It's just going down.
Okay.
I'd be so happy if we hit under 100 by Friday.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
That would be great. Now, the daily new cases, 0, which has
Dankie.
been 0 for some time.
I thank you.
Daily deaths, 0, which has been 0 for some time.
I thank you.
Okay.
Woo!
Yet the deputy minister says, when we go on holiday,
Yeah.
like you Herero people
Yeah.
who don't want to mingle with the Germans at
Yeah,
the
we
moment,
don't. Ons soek julle nie. Yeah.
there's going to be a rise in coronavirus cases. Are we being warned here? Or are we going to have a conveniently rising figure to make sure that the police don't have to work so hard
Yeah.
and our medical staff don't have to work so hard?
Koffie, you must know that as a middle-aged man with children,
Yes.
ages 23, 24, 16, I welcome curfews now
Yes,
because
me too.
I'm happy if they are home.
Yes.
So if the president says we go back to 12 o'clock, okay, 12 o'clock op die swakste, I'll be happy. Then I know by 12 they are home.
Let's punish the young people. Make it 10 o'clock.
Jy laat voel my sommer warm nou. On that note, how does our weather figures look like?
Interesting
for
stuff
today?
in terms of the weather. So for tomorrow, for Thursday, significant cooling is expected in the south and east on Thursday. But for today, the interior sunny and very hot in the west and also in the Hardap region. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a few showers. Isolated thunder showers in the central north and the Omaheke regions. The coast, partly cloudy and mild to warm with showers in the south.
Okay,
at the coast.
Where's the south?
We'd be looking at Oranjemund up.
Ah,
I'm not too sure if it's going to hit Luderitz, but definitely Oranjemund up. The wind moderate to fresh southerly. The hottest place in Namibia today, in terms of maximum temperatures, is going to be Marintal.
say there,
But they're telling us that significant cooling is expected in the south
Aha,
and the east, but that'll be tomorrow.
that will be tomorrow.
But the hottest place today is going to be Marintal. Okay?
what are we talking about?
42 degrees Celsius. Nice and warm. Okay?
Like Gaza say, ons bly net hier. Ons bly net hier.
Well,
Yeah.
the question is Marintal considered the south?
It is the south. It's the
Because
south.
if Marienthal today is 42 degrees, but Keetmanshoop is 34, what is the difference? Almost what? 8 degrees Celsius.
It's about 250 kilometers away from each other.
So we can safely say the south is Keetmanshoop and not Marienthal.
Yeah, so then what is...
Marienthal should belong to Rehoboth.
Nee?
Or Rehoboth to Marienthal.
Nee, is die syde. Is die syde.
Yeah, no, the south is definitely going to have changing weather. It's because of
Yeah.
the cooling and the rains coming in and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Okay, but in the capital today, 36 degrees going up, going to Swakopmund and Walvis Bay, 23 degrees in Walvis Bay, 19 degrees in Swakop. Let's go to the north of the country, Omuthia, my favorite place, 33 degrees, Ondangwa 33, and Oshakati 34. We are moving to Katima Mulilo, the Zambezi region, 36, with Rundu 34, coming down to the central north, Ochivarongo 35. Then just going to Rehoboth, I had Rehoboth here, Rehoboth 36 today, and then the east of the country in Gobabis 38 and Beitepos also 38.
Kaufmann, mein Kaiser, vielen Dank.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Have a nice day.
Kaufi,
and
thank you
have a
very
great
much.
show.
That was Kaufi with the news. I'm tired of people on the stream, giving Germans so much props here. Heleni Nambahu says, "You look good, Kaufi, without the beard." Okay, yeah. So, laat hierdie Duitser net gaan. Okay, thank you very much, Kaufi. See you tomorrow. It is such a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, and we're quickly going to be moving now to the next segment of our show here this morning. We have two special guests in the studio this morning to come and talk about a joint venture between Trustco Group and the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. It is my honor to welcome in studio the Deputy Minister of ICT in Namibia, Honorable Emma Theophilus. Good morning, Emma. Welcome to the Morning Mix here on Informante Live.
Thank you so much, Neville. Thank you for having me.
It is such a pleasure to welcome you in studio. And then we have Emmanuel Joseph sitting there very silently next to her. We will be speaking to you also a little bit later, but just to give our viewers and to all you young people who are watching the show at the moment, please, indulge us, ask your questions if you do have any questions, because this is all about internship in Namibia, okay? Just to give you guys a little bit of a background as to what we're talking about here, Trustco Group Holdings and the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology launched a joint information technology internship program to equip Namibian ICT graduates with real working experience in a very competitive environment. Young graduates and certified Namibians will put their academic experience to the test and own their skills for the lifelong employment growth path and eventually job security in a very volatile labor market. Honorable Minister, it is once again such a pleasure to welcome you to the studio, and I believe when your ministry started to embark on this specific program, maybe you can just tell us, how did this internship initiative come about? And why? Why?
Thank you, Neville. Thank you so much. And good morning to all the viewers and listeners that are tuning in this morning. And thank you for having me, Neville, in the Morning Mix team. So, as you know, ICT is the future.
Yes.
We're talking about the fourth industrial revolution, cybersecurity, digital transformation. And as a Ministry of ICT, we really want to be part of all that. But more importantly, we recognize that the Internet of Things, ICT, is becoming younger generation thing. Sorry, Neville.
Hello. Senior youth. Senior
What
youth.
term is that? But we accept it. We
Yes,
accept it.
asseblief
As
toch.
long as you're young at heart.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we recognize that. And as a ministry, of course, as you know, when I got appointed, it was COVID-19. We're in a crisis, and we could not take in any more interns. We currently have interns in the ministry in all types of areas, media, telecommunications, and all of that. But we could not take in any more interns because we just could not support interns at the moment. And I thought, but we have graduates graduating, we have young people who need opportunities. How can we find a way to collaborate with progressive institutions, both in public and private, to still ensure that we allow young people to get the skills they need and the experience they need to secure employment in this country? And voila, comes Trustco group and willing to collaborate with MICT to come up with this program to give young people in the ICT sector specifically an opportunity to hone their skills, not only the academics, but now practical, so that they're able to compete in this volatile environment you speak of, Neville, and really see how we can push Namibia's profile when it comes to ICT. There's a lot of work to do, and I know Namibian young people would be the best people at this point in time to carry this fifth industrial revolution we're talking about forward, and we need to equip them with the skills to do that.
Emma, you come from a strong youth activist background around issues of gender, children's rights, sustainable development, and youth unemployment.
Yes.
Do you like feel that, you know what, you with that background that you come from, that sort of equipped you to have a better understanding as to, you know, what is happening on grassroots level?
100%. I still am very much in touch with the youth groups I used to be part of since I was 13 years old.
How up, man?
Yes.
13.
13.
Kurwanje.
So I continuously engage with them, and I continuously use their space to connect with young people in formal groupings and to continuously tap into the skills and the knowledge I acquired since then. So I'm making sure that with those skills I bring to the table, we can make government diverse as possible and multidisciplined in how we address issues, and this is one of them.
Emma, what do you think young people, and I say again, there are a lot of young people who are watching our show at the moment. What should young people do to be able, you know, to benefit from such opportunities?
Well, I think preparation is best. You need to be prepared to meet the opportunities when they become available. So, for example, and I don't want to jump quickly into Emmanuel and what we did to look at the criteria, but to say that if you really want to grab the opportunity of an internship, it's only natural that a company or a ministry or any other office or agency will look at your academics and how well you're doing in your academics. Of course, not all of us can be A students, but if you cannot be an A student, Neville, if you cannot be an A student, supplement it with something else you're doing. What are you doing in the community? Are you volunteering somewhere?
Yeah.
Are you, collaborating with youth groups or other young people to run a charity? Be dynamic. That's the only way you're able to meet opportunity when it becomes available, because there's only so much an internship program can take and how many people it can take. You want to be that one person that stands out. So you need to be dynamic. You need to go beyond what you're expected to do, both in your academic life, in your social life, and outside your home and your community, and be dynamic so that you're able to grab the eyes of those that are willing to give the opportunities to young people. That's a philosophy I carried in my life, and it has worked, and I believe everybody can achieve that if they follow that.
One of my sons, he's the more entrepreneurial one between I got 4 children. So he's the one who's a little bit more entrepreneurial. So he gets involved in in all these type of things, opportunities out there, and I can clearly see that he's slowly, while he's studying, trying to build his little CV and a repertoire as to, and it's true. I have to obviously agree with you there that you can clearly see in how it builds confidence in young people. I quickly want to shift my attention to the gentleman sitting here next to you. He's a 4-year graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Informatics, and he was selected as the successful applicant of this inaugural Trusco and the Ministry of ICT IT program. Emmanuel Joseph, welcome to the studio. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the studio.
Good morning. You can hear me though.
Ja, maar praat net hard asseblief.
Last time I stopped at this was having difficulties.
Ja.
So, good morning, viewers, and thank you, Neville, for finally inviting me to your office.
Ja.
Finally.
Emmanuel, maybe if you can just quickly just give us a little bit of background as to how you came about getting involved in this specific program. Where did you see it, and what basically sort of motivated you to to take up this initiative?
Okay.
It's a bit closer to the mic. Pull it a little bit closer.
Okay, can I start like my history, or should I strictly?
Luister, jy word gekyk hierso nee. Daar's cherries wat jou kyk hierso. As jy jou naam one vat nee, is nie my story nie. So you are live, you talk your story.
You must advise me.
No, there are no rules here. I didn't give Emma any rules. Why should I be giving you rules? Huh? His mic is on. Just check here.
A knob. Yeah, it says on.
It is
So it's
on.
off is up. So on is
I
down.
can hear. Just a little bit closer to it.
Yeah. Or you can hold it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just move a little bit closer to it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Emmanuel Joseph. I'm from Okanje. I grew up in Okanje. That's where I was born. That's where I finished both my primary and secondary school. I studied in South Africa at PSN Institute of Higher Education. I did a Bachelor's of Science in Informatics degree. What this basically entails that most times when I tell people about what I studied, they don't really get the idea or understand what it is. Informatics is basically a bridge between the IT world and the business world. Let's say, for example, what I want to do specifically is be a systems analyst. In a company, let's say we have the finance department. Maybe they want to introduce a new system as something to help them. They will come to me, give me their ideas, and then I push the ideas to the IT department. And then once the IT department is done, they give me back what they design, and then I present it to the finance department. I completed my studies last year, and then I graduated this year in April. And then during July, that's when I saw the advert for the internship program. I came across it on LinkedIn. Then at first I just saw it. I didn't really go through it. Just saw it, and then I scrolled past it. And then later during the day, a friend of mine sent me the same advert again. That's when I was like, okay, let me have a look at it. And then I went through the requirements. I saw that, yeah, I qualify for all of them. And then, but there was one particularly that I was looking at, but where I thought I might fall out, and which is where it says particularly for, it didn't really mention if it also includes Namibian students that studied in other countries, or strictly just those that studied in Namibia. That's where I was a bit skeptical, but yeah, I still submitted my application, and later in September, that's when I got the call.
September this year.
September this year.
That's
when I got the call. Initially, I also forgot about that I actually applied for it. But then when I got the call, I was surprised, and they were saying, no, we would like to have an interview with you this coming Friday. I can remember perfectly clear, it was on the 21st. Actually, the interview was on the 17th because it was my mom's birthday that day.
Ah, mommy's boy.
And then, yeah, I got the interview. Everything went well. Like I told you before, it's that interview. It wasn't more like an interview. It was more like a discussion, and that's what actually made it perfect for me. And it's it's in the top 2 of the best interviews I've ever had, and it's definitely not number 2. So, yeah, that's it.
Ims, maybe you can just indulge us a little bit. You know what? A lot of, and I don't know, Emma, if you would agree with me. I remember a few years ago at Trusco, we went to South Africa to go and speak to young Namibian students, and to obviously to share with them what the job opportunities are with Trusco, with us as a group in Namibia. Just with my discussions with Ims, he made it very clear to me that, you know what, as a young man, he just wanted to leave Namibia because he was just tired of Okahanja and he just wants to go to South Africa. And Ims, maybe you can just tell us a little bit, you know, what was your experience as a young man who wants to, and all our children go through it a lot of times. I just want to leave this country. There's nothing for me here. Just to come back to Namibia. What was the motivation of going to South Africa? What was your experience and what brought you back to your motherland?
Motivation to go to South Africa was I had a cousin who was already there, so I would say things were a bit easier for me. That was one of the most motivations, but then also being far from home. It's what I wanted to experience.
Yeah.
Because my whole life I've been with my parents, so I wanted to see how life would be being away from them, far from them. So yeah, I went, but then, yeah, I was far from them, but I was happy. But then as days go by, I realized that I actually miss home. In as much as I wanted to be far from home, being far from home it's totally different, especially being in another country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, in the beginning it was a bit difficult, but then yeah, I got used to it. I adapted quickly to it. I made it my second home.
Okay.
Home away from home.
Emma, maybe you can, I don't know what advice you would like to give to, if there's a specific message that you have to others in a position of influence when it comes to internship programs. What would you advise to others in a position of influence when it comes to internship programs?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing I'll do is reflect on my own internship programs I've been part of. I started doing internships while I was still studying. I did my first internship in my second year. It was quite rough, trying to balance still the studies and trying to get practical experience. And it was not easy because it was unpaid, and you had to struggle with taxi to UNAM and taxi to the job. It was tough, but it was. But I learned quite a lot. If you really want something, you find a way. And when others see that you also into it, they're able to assist you. So other young people or people in influence who can really take in young graduates or not even graduates, young people who have a passion for something and are willing to put in 120% into it. Let us take them in. Let us assist them, because it's one thing to say, youth unemployment is so high. We have graduates that are unemployed. Those who have no skills in education who are unemployed. Where is the middle ground? The middle ground is us, me and you, Neville, who have agency, some capital of some kind. I have capital in the form of an office, an influence as a parliamentarian that I can now use to benefit other young people. So this is the opportunity to build that bridge between youth unemployment to youth employment, and reflecting on my own internships that were unpaid, that were not always so nice. I'm hoping Emmanuel here at Trustco would have a good opportunity to get the skills he needs, so that he's able to hone in into the knowledge that he already acquired at university, and become the business analyst he always wanted to be. So I hope that being the thing, everyone else listening to this interview would be able to say, you know what, we have an opportunity at least for one young person.
Yeah.
Not 10, not 100.
Yeah.
One makes the difference.
Emma, maybe just to move a little bit away from our discussion, I need to ask you, and I think there are a lot of young people out there watching you this morning. You didn't set out to be a politician, did you?
No, really not.
Ne?
I wanted to become a human rights lawyer.
Okay.
And I still am on that track.
Yeah. Ne?
Yeah, no, that wasn't, and if it was going to happen, not this soon.
Not soon, eh?
Not this soon.
Mm-hmm.
But you were called. They say, Emma, you must come to my office.
I'll report you to my uncle.
You can report me. He knows for 30 years I'm making fun of him this way.
So he came, and you got the opportunity to become part of government.
Yes.
And
He called me to duty.
Yeah, you were called to duty. Is there any advice that you can give to young, aspiring Namibians out there? Because you know what, your image has been amplified out there. It's Emma's Daso. So what advice would you give to young people out there? You know what, when that duty, that office of duty is called upon you?
Yeah. Take it.
Take it, ne?
We aren't a lot in spaces
Yeah,
of
ne?
decision making at those levels. We still have a long way to go in having as many young people in parliament, young people in ministries,
Yeah.
young people even in the judiciary. We need young people in this country that can be at tables of decision making, because we are 60% of the population. So when you're called to duty, do not fumble.
Yeah.
Take it and lead others, because once you're able to break that glass ceiling, others are able to come through the same door. So take it, do not hesitate, be prepared. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but be ready to take the bull by its horns and run with it, because if you don't take it, no other young people will have the opportunity to have that opportunity to go to spaces where they can sit down
Yeah.
with decision makers of this country.
Ims, if there's any final words that you would like to share, with young aspiring Namibians as yourself out there.
Before I get to that, she said we should be prepared to take up those opportunities, right? Yeah, this is now me preparing to sit there.
Oh, okay.
Where
Okay. I get you. Yeah. Is that your answer? That's your final answer?
I would say, like you said, whatever chance that you get in life, just be prepared to take it up. Doesn't matter how unprepared you are for it. Trust me, you learn on the way. So just always be ready to grab the bulls by its horns, and everything will be good.
Thank you very much. Deputy Minister of ICT in Namibia, Honorable Emma Theophilus. My sister, thank you so much for coming into the studio today. And I just want to say, somebody said here on the street, this politician is very early. I don't know if there's a stereotype that politicians are late, but Emma, once again, thank you so much for coming into the studio. I think from ourselves, from Trustco side, we are extremely proud that we can do this in conjunction with your ministry, and we definitely hope that this project or this program would definitely enrich our youth out there. Any final words?
Yes, I'd like to thank Trustco. When I came to see the big guy, you know, he was excited, he was ready. And I'm glad that we still have, people in corporate Namibia, in private sector, who are able to meet government's efforts halfway, because it's quite difficult in the situation we're in, and one has to be innovative and think out the box, and I'm glad that there are those who are able to meet us halfway. So thank you to Trustco Group for coming on board with this program, and I hope others are able to emulate the same. The IT industry is growing in this country. we need to amplify it, and I believe we can do it.
I thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. To all of you out there, this was a very, very interesting discussion, and we will definitely be able to amplify, the industry through these different projects that we are doing. Emma, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Ims,
Emma.
thank you so much for coming into the studio, and enjoy the day.
You too.
I unfortunately can't walk you out of the studio because I have to remain live
Thank you.
while my next guests come into
Thank
the
you.
studio.
Thank you so
but
much.
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Ja, Jay kan net gaan terug daar by jou kantoor waar jy sit.
Yes.
Guys,
Yes,
thank you
Neville.
so much for coming in into the studio today, and you guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much. Please, Comrade Minister, we have a celebrity wall out here that you need to sign.
I'm not a celebrity.
It's a celebrity wall. You sign.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, we will be having in studio before we continue with our program. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying on the stream and obviously engaging us. It is so important as Namibians that we need to take the opportunities to better ourselves as young people, okay? To take up these opportunities. If you do see opportunities of this nature, please make work of these opportunities to better yourself as Namibians, okay? As we say, this is an is dit nodig?
Please, we are talking about ITC and jealous besig.
Yeah. Tuva, welcome back into the studio.
Yeah, good to be back.
Full Jay. So many things has happened in the last 24 hours.
What has
Ons
happened?
moet praat. Yeah?
What did I
I
By
realized.
the way, I came out 5 minutes to the hour. I told Mitch, let's start making our way to studio. It's almost 9. And it's like, okay, it's opat. Now I'm like 20 minutes later.
It's all right. Hier kom hy.
Oh.
Hier kom hy.
Maar jy het gesê celebrities must not punctual.
Ja. Luister nee. Ek wil net sê Maria Tuva Ileka.
Yeah.
I just want to say yesterday I realized your English is just pathetic. I always, the reason why I am friends and the fact that you are my sister is because, I've latched onto your level of English for quite a number of years. But your English is not on the level that warrants you the status that you think that you are having.
You know what
And
I
I'll
realized
tell you.
yesterday?
Yeah. Huh?
You
Xavier?
know what I realized yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, Namibians are so impressed by like simple things.
It's not simple
Really,
things.
it is so simple.
It's not simple.
Because number one, they were accusing the guy of rah-rahing. The guy wasn't rah-rahing, by the way.
He was
Let's just start
rah-rahing.
there. He was speaking squan, or who say I meant savor, who say Gela?
Yeah, Savor Engels.
Savor angles. That's what he was doing, right? He was speaking. Let me put it this way. He was speaking in Vestec English. Whereas in Mwapopia was speaking Nempolice English. You know what I mean? Like Gelamut. Just make a distinction, right? But
Shines like
he wasn't rah-rahing. And maybe it's because that's how he always
Wacht
talks.
eers.
Okay, between him and Shines, who is the rara and the rara?
So, wait, listen to what Maria says. Maria says Ricardo Gustavo speaks in Vestec English.
Vamos, you're an investor, you must talk to.
And die ander Wambu speaks
police.
Why is that guy the
Namibian
under-
police English.
Why is
I-
Mapopi the under Wambu?
No, because
Why is he the
guys,
under? I'm on
look,
my Poppy
no,
side.
No, this is not even a classist statement.
Ah,
you know,
we have to.
You know that a lot of the police officers, they speak that way because if you come in there, the charge office, you, they are working with the people on the ground. You don't know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
And Gustavo is working with the.
With investors. Yeah, more. Hello?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree
so-
with you. I agree
But
with
people
you.
were like, rah rah, and the guys were rah the guy. Oh, this guy, they were so impressed with his English. And I thought, but it's
Like,
English.
okay, between him and Shines, like audience between him and
Yeah.
I
Shines,
don't want
who's
to
the
bring
rah-rah?
Shines into it. I don't want to bring Shines in America.
Shines.
Is there?
Die man sal vir Shines 3-0 move. Vooraf.
Hou op.
No,
Vooraf
no,
time.
but that's the thing. That's the distinction I want to make. For example, Shines has the rah-rah accent, as we call, which is the African American accent, or
Yes.
like American accent. Doesn't even have to be
Yeah,
African American.
yeah,
The
yeah.
American accent is what we call the rah-rah. Shines has it, right? I can even say Saki Shangala has it,
Yeah.
but Gustavo doesn't have it. He just speaks good English.
Yeah, no.
Invest-
Yeah,
English.
because you can rah-rah and still not speak good English. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yo, man, what's up? Sorry. You know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sorry, all right? But you're not speaking good English. You just have a rah-rah. Yeah, but yeah, so Namibians, how up you like?
Me, I thought I was watching Sparta. You know, 300? Those 300 guys that defeated Lord Xerxes.
Yeah.
Belligerence of your excellence. I was like, yo! Is it the belligerence? I was like, yo! This is
Leicester.
Sparta!
Luister, when we were watching obviously the bail application motivation of Mr. Ricardo Gustavo yesterday, and we as friends of Ricardo, and I will not say which friends we are. Yeah, I'm just saying, ek vang die palle van almal. Everybody on the WhatsApp is like, it's hey, my bro, tell Ricardo to tone it down a bit. Please just tone it down. We don't want the judge to become angry because this man sounds too intellectual. He just says, okay, Exagio Noves, you will be in jail this Christmas because you think you are too smart.
But
here."
Afrikaners are not intimidated with accents. That's a nice thing about it.
Excuse me.
No, because
Excuse me.
I mean, they confuse them and they and this and that.
Ay,
It's not that serious. I don't think they have. I think he actually has a judge that might be more accommodating to what he's saying instead of how he's saying it. Because he's an Afrikaans and he doesn't have those insecurities about language. I'm just saying.
Can somebody please tag me, please? Because for some reason I can't pick up the stream again. Just tag me. Just type my name so I can just be on the stream.
Okay, let me read some comments.
Please read some comments.
You're-
Somebody
you see, now
tag
the
me.
problem is, guys, sorry, we have 2 streams running. I am on Informante News, so I will read what's on Informante News. I will try to get to the Informante Live as well, but if you don't see your comments being read, just know.
Tag me on Informante Live, please.
All right, Jürgen Geisab says, no, Shines is something else. Ricardo is just an intelligent guy. And then Mutatio says, Gustavo equals or is like Shakespeare. All right. Franco says, Gustavo said colloquial to fly the coop.
Watch him.
Dai
Unja. Unja. Watch him, Unja. Huh?
Guram.
Yeah, he
Maybe
did say to fly the coop. That's
Say
true.
go weer.
I'm not participating.
Jurago just say Gustavo
We will learn
said
how to say this.
colloquial to fly the coop.
Colloquial to fly the coop.
Colloquial.
Colloquial.
Okay, Maria J.
Probeer jy Neville, probeer jy.
Say again.
Why
I read?
is
Fly
it?
the coop. He's just talking about.
Don't explain the word. Just say. Just let him say. Come
No,
on, I'm
say-
not
say it- say
condescending. Condescending, but condescending
Guys,
means looking
You
down
know,
on
can
people.
I be honest? Can we just focus on whether his testimony had value? or
Ah,
No,
yeah.
let Neville say
not?
the.
Angle
I want
focus.
Neville to
I
say.
don't. Okay,
Colloquial.
I said it better than you, Neville.
Neville.
Colloquial.
Colloquial to fly the coop. Daipora.
I'm done, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's class.
participating.
And then
I said it right, must participate.
Taishwan says Maria's English downgrade to Android. iOS
Das.
is depleted. Okay, and then Braji says there we said he was speaking Royal English, Investec English, Shine's Life Matters, guys. Can we please get his next of kin?
We don't understand business language. But what next of kin means to us is that somebody that's a witness.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
So,
let's
back
go.
onto what I'm saying. Guys, stop being impressed by the wrong things, please. Yeah, English is just that. If you speak it well, you speak it well. If you don't, it's also okay. As long as you speak a language fluently, you can get through life.
True.
Yeah, look, but what I was feeling and what most people that were on the comment section was also feeling is that he was more scared of being in jail than facing what he did. That's what the people was like. They were like,
Is that what the
he's
people
just
are-
talking about the conditions of jail and what he's going through in jail, him getting contracting the virus and so people are feeling like, yo, this dude is actually more scared of being in jail than
Those people don't understand bail hearing.
Okay, me
I
and you were
just-
talking about that, but I'm just saying.
This is. I was reading some of the comments on the stream, and people will be like, "Okay, stop telling us about your kids in prison. Tell us what did you do with the money, guys." There is a huge difference between a bail hearing and a trial. All right, in bail hearing, you just basically have to bring forth reasons of why you should be granted bail. Like you're not a threat to the state, that there are kids outside, that need you, that the conditions in prison right now, are not going to allow you to, for example, be healthy and prepare for trial. The equipment there doesn't allow you to prepare adequately and so forth, and your health and those are all things you bring to court for bail hearing. The fact that people don't understand that and they wanted this to be a trial is very
Look, this is why
Google, you don't need to speak to your lawyer friends, listen to
what suits.
Listen to lawyers weighing in on this conversation. Go look at tweets from lawyers like Biki Verstaan what bail is, what it entails, and what it doesn't entail, and stop demanding things that are not needed for a bail hearing.
Neville, let me tell you why they think this way.
Because they don't know court proceedings.
Our main guys were.
Who are the main guys?
Our guys that are like one of my dudes.
And who are they?
Okay, like Mike. And
It's the main guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my main guy.
Yes.
That's my homie.
So say Mike, say my main guy.
Yeah, my name is also Mike, so okay, cool. And Othniel. Othniel. Those guys actually, they didn't go there to like give reasons why they have to be. Like, what they were basically doing is telling the court about where the money is, what they did with it, where the money still is. So they expect the same things from Gustavo. But Gustavo, when they're prepared,
by the way, the guy that we keep making, I told you this, the guy that you guys keep making fun of, which is Mapopi, right?
Is it now Othniel?
Mapopi.
No. Othniel is, Mapopi is the last guy.
The last main guy,
The guy
which also
from
wants free.
The guy said he was serious about giving
I want
The
giving
guy
bail.
that's doing a PhD or whatever. That Mapopi with the making fun of his accent, whatever. If you
I was shocked, boss.
If you understand court proceedings and you understand bail application, of the three guys before Ricardo, despite his accent, Mapopi actually performed the best. Why? Mapopi understood what a bail application is for. Mapopi was talking about his kids, his dependents, his parents, those
Him studying.
Yes, him studying. Those are things you bring forward when you want to be released. You need to show the court why you should be granted bail. You understand? Your defense is for trial. Guilty, not guilty, waste the money, Swapo took the money, nah. That is for trial. So, Nipunya played himself a lot because a lot of the things he said in his bail hearing is going to be used against him in trial. The same goes for Nathaniel, because I think it's Philip. I think Philippus Mwapopi and Othniel.
Othniel.
Same goes for Othniel. Othniel played himself because he said, outside of his bail hearing and the things that the court needed to know, he was bringing in other elements that he should save for trial. And that's why if you look at those two testaments specifically, you will see that the judge a lot of times was
Would try
kind
to
of
help, yeah.
warning them like, may brass.
Anything you say,
Be mindful that anything you say will be used
Takamisa.
against you. But with Mapopi, he stuck to why he needs bail conditions, bail, you know. And the same with Ricardo.
Yeah.
That's what you do in a bail hearing. So I feel like the other two, actually, the lawyers that let them down, because your lawyer should advise you where to go, where not to go.
True.
Yeah. Look, our guy, like Mike, my guy, Mike, was also trying to help the court. It was even, not that it is my cross-examination, but I'm just trying to be of help. And then he explained too much of the things that he was asked, and he was clearly told by the judge too, you can answer or you can decide not to answer.
And that is probably exactly what Maria is saying.
Yeah.
You know what? Anything that you say can be used against you in a court of law. I see a report here. I don't know how much authenticity there is, but apparently last week in court, Gustavo said the ACC's officers called between 2 and 3 of his co-accused, gunning for bail to give their side of the story.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm just reading.
Yeah, but I didn't
Gustavo said ACC's officers called between 2 and 3 of his co-accused.
All right, call 2 or 3 of his co-accused.
Co-accused, gunning for bail to give their side of the story. These are the 2 or 3,
all right,
okay?
Okay, those that are gunning for bail, all right.
Yeah. He said they gave statements and documentations while he was not afforded the same courtesy. Quoting, "My faculties are 100%, my lord. To my recollection, nobody has come from the ACC or any other investigation authority to say, Mr. Gustavo, let's have a seat. Here is some coffee. Let's talk about this. Or at least oros or something." Gustavo says. So Ricardo is pissed off that he was not offered coffee, tea, or oros by the ACC.
Neville is trying to drive
We
the
can all
narrative here.
decide what we are focusing on the statement. I agree with
That he
Ricardo.
wasn't called to the party as well.
Yeah. So here, when we say there are no honor amongst thieves, okay, and that's where the saying comes from, probably. You know what? If it is true what Ricardo is saying, okay, what Ricardo is saying, the ACC approached 2 or 3 other bail applicants to ask their side of the story. He was not afforded the same opportunity to explain himself or to provide evidence to the ACC. And he sees a fundamental problem with that.
Yeah, I think he's trying to show that what is this? All animals are equal, but some. He's trying to show that there isn't the
Consistency.
yes, there's no consistency in how they are being treated as accused persons.
Then-
Some are getting preferential treatment. Some are given courtesy where others are not. And that came out quite strongly in his testimony yesterday, where he even said, in fact, the ACC initially came to his house with a search warrant and whatever, and he said, "I can check." He said, with a little knowledge I understood of the law, I said, let me call my lawyer. Maybe it would be better if my counsel is here so that I don't overstep boundaries that can be used against me. And he called his lawyer, and his lawyer said, "You know what, just let them do what they need to do." And apparently that's what they did. And then the next day he was arrested, but as you all know, that was a botched arrest warrant. It was for him and Esau, and they were released, and then they went back to get their ducks in a row, and this is when he was going to the coast. And he said when he arrived in Karibib, he got another call saying we have a warrant for your a warrant for your arrest.
Wach. So you made me drive up to Karibib.
He didn't. Nobody made him drive. He said he wanted to. He had been going through the stress of being in prison for a day, or these allegations against him, and he just wanted to see the sea, put his hands in the sea, in the sand. He said in the sand, walk on the beach barefoot, calm himself. You know, get a
walk on water.
You know,
his Pastor Ricardo.
Yeah, so never can was up to decompress. So I think for Ricardo, so he needed to de-stress. And he gets to Karibib, he gets a phone call, there's a warrant for your arrest, report yourself to the, I think he said Auspenplatz police. And he said
So he turned back.
He said he turned back. And he came there to report himself and he was immediately arrested. He said at this point, there was no sitting down, trying to get his statement, trying to make him understand anything. It was you know. Yeah, and I think what he's trying to show is some people were given a little bit more common courtesy than others. But then again, I mean, I'm waiting for it will be interesting to see what the state says, but perhaps the state, they do have their, you know, you always have your ringleaders and then your collaterals. So maybe the state is offering more room for negotiations for the collaterals and keeping the main dogs. So maybe it's very telling that he didn't get that. Maybe it's because the state sees him as like a figure, a central figure in this case. I don't know.
Yeah, because him and the arrest warrant was given out for him and the minister, which is like, again, he's like, they probably labeling him closer to the main dogs, you know, the main guys.
No, I think it's more about the Nemgoma case and him being the sole director.
Okay.
And the money coming directly into that company where you're a sole director and then him dispersing. So that's for me perhaps why.
But look at what confuses me is that the first warrant of arrest was given up. They were arrested.
Issued,
and then they said, okay, now you guys can go, and then
no, that's not what happened.
What happened?
They were arrested, him and the former fisheries minister were arrested, and then the former fisheries minister challenged the validity of that arrest warrant. And it was found that it wasn't valid.
Okay.
And so it had to be retracted and they had to be released. And then the state went back and, like I said, put their ducks in a row and, yeah.
Guys, I must say, you know what, and this is now where my humanity kicks in. And I'm talking about not just about Ricardo because he's a personal friend. I'm talking about everyone here who's on trial. You know what? I think with this bail application hearings, you know what? Your privacy is not your privacy anymore. Because for you, as part of motivation to say, I want to be released.
You have to say how much you were earning.
Yeah.
How many kids you have. How many baby mamas.
I have to be very, very honest as to what goes on in my personal life. I didn't know that Saki had asthma. I didn't know that Saki suffers from sleep apnea. For example. You know what? It was, I say again, you know what? I'm very subjective when it comes to Ricardo. And biased.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
And for me to sit here and read something like, you know, Fisher Road suspect fears children may drop out of Windhoek Gymnasium private school. Anybody can say, let's say kinders. Tobias Anyeko toe gaan of Gamams or whatever. The fact that you fear for your children in any which way as to, you know, the quality of life that your children has, that touches me.
Yeah.
For me to sit here and listen how, because I can understand any man who wants to protect his family, protect his children. It doesn't matter what you have done wrong. But just to read something like that my children will not be able to go to a certain school anymore, it's very touchy.
I have my biases, obviously, but that's not one of the things that touched me, because I'm like, Private schools are for the most part.
I understand.
Yeah, they're privileged.
I
right, To the
understand.
people with the means, and they are good state schools. It's easy for me to say, of course, you know, you want the kids to be accustomed to a certain lifestyle, but sometimes we need to shake up and face the reality that things are not going to be the same.
Of
you know?
course. No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
this-
you're
I
right.
think this kid's already moved from international to gymnasium.
Okay.
You know, which is already a drop in the statuses because I mean international is the most expensive school in Namibia, and obviously to go to gymnasium that was already coming. And I think now even the suggestion of them going to state school, but I think there are bigger things to worry about than like the kids be going to a private school. For example, that's not something I even want to entertain too much.
Okay, Neville, like, let me just say, like, just tell me if I'm right, Neville. Like, from a father's point of view, it's like, my kids are being punished for something I did.
Yes.
That's how you feel when, like, when you're in that position. So, okay, my kid, I won't be able to pay for him because I did this, and now he has been, let's say, an IT graduate for 4 years. Now I can't pay because I was paying it. Now his future is being punished because of my sins,
my doings.
of my doing. So as a father, I know it's not like really important, but as a father, you're like, damn. You know,
Let's read,
Let me
and it's
read
true what
some
you say.
comments.
I have a few comments here.
All right. Bradley says, hearing Gustavo's side so far seems like he deserves bail, but let's wait to hear Luti Bezi today. I think actually he also, this is not my bias, I actually also agree. Tishon says, the Owens moet ni bail kry nie. I want to enjoy my holiday nice at the coast, feet in the sand, passing Usakos, unlike ... Bradley says, the way that Oros was pronounced by Gustavo, I felt betrayed by my English.
Auros. He probably said that. Auros.
Martin says,
crash.
Mapopi, Mike, Shu, Difonia all attended combined school education, while Gustavo went to a private school.
Oh my god, man.
Estomish says, O'Neill did say his mom is in Swakopmund and in the north.
Maria, kan jy net comments lees asseblief? Ja.
Jolly says, I'm so thankful for Shafi Uitele for allowing the live stream. Otherwise, you media people could have lied to us.
He didn't
I
say
was
Auros.
on
He said Oros.
Rihanna says, Mapopi used his background as a police officer to argue his bail case. I was definitely on his side. No, Rihanna, you're actually very correct. You did very well. Except the
my
side,
goodness.
which I'm not anyway focused on. Someone says, shout out to Ricardo. He was concise. Hand clap is Dion Chimsizel. Ross says, that poor judge must learn to relax. Franco says, Otniel Shudi, the Kwanyama that doesn't know the difference of invoice and the next of kin. And then further, Trini, clever, says, but it is not also true that all has been shaped by crime. So when it crumbles regardless of who it affects,
Why do you guys
Who are
read his
we?
comments like that?
to take...
Why do you guys read his comments like that?
Wouldn't you?
I would. Let me admit that.
Umbrage. What is umbrage?
Sorry, I lost his comment.
Okay.
Can I read it?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I lost his comment.
But it is not also true that all has been shaped by crime. So when it crumbles, regardless of who it affects, who are we to take umbrage in our feelings when decisions are also affected those not so affluent or in the elite circles? Trini, no,
Affluent.
Trini,
people
you
must
are
hope-
correct.
Clever. I hope you never get arrested and you are in jail and we are watching your bail application. Because if you people are impressed with Ricardo,
Hey, Trini on that
wait
stage.
for training.
Yeah. No, Trini, Buti, you are correct. You know what? And as we say, we all have our biases, okay? Ek wil net gou Rose se comment hierso lees. Roar Viera says, Neville, you sound like the white guy that says, I am not racist. I have a black friend. Jy voel net so omdat dit jou bra is. Julle het nie 'n topic uit die ander ouens gemaak nie. Kom ons bly nca. What else is in the newspapers today? Ro.
You know what's interesting? This is Ricardo's family talking like that. Supposed, I don't know, I haven't confirmed.
Hey, hierdie man het jou kwaad gemaak, Ro.
Ro is gesnoep. Ro is geld gesnoep.
Gesnoep.
Uncle het gesê, lyk ek soos geld.
Ja.
Dink jy geld groei op die
Okay,
boom?
but on a serious note, I don't think that's a fair assessment because we did speak in detail about the mic. I mean, Mike's one dragged on for 4, 5, 6 days. And we covered it every day. So I think more than others, we really went into the mic one. Oatmeal was for a day, and okay, with my puppy, I wasn't in studio, so I don't know what happened there. But I don't think it's fair that I think we are, giving preference to one person's statement over the others. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, now we really went in depth with everybody.
Yeah.
Like Mike, Oatmeal was very short. Like it was just 1 day and a half, I think, and that was it. And we did talk about him. Yeah.
Semi Ho, so what will be happening in court today?
Well, he continues his testimony today. Ricardo. I foresee obviously that cross-examination will kick off today as well. So it will be interesting to hear what the state is going to bring. You need to remember again that the state cannot introduce new. That's why it's important what you say in your chief in evidence or evidence in chief. Chief in evidence is what I was coming for a reporter from the Eagle FM saying chief in evidence.
You chose violence.
Yeah, it's evidence in chief. So it's the state can only cross-examine you on the evidence in chief. And like I said, that's why it's important not to give them too much
to have to say
to work with So it will be interesting to see how he will be cross-examined. But like I said, the state can only really cross-examine on what he's already presented.
Evidence in chief is like when your lawyer cross-examines you.
Your lawyer cannot cross-examine you.
Okay,
evidence
in chief is
evidence in chief is when you start.
It's
you between your lawyer. You're basically presenting your case. That is the evidence in chief. That's basically what everybody's going to work with. And then after that, then the state is going to cross-examine you. And
based
after
on that.
this, based on your evidence in chief. And after the state cross-examines you, then your counsel can re-examine you.
This is why Mapopi survived. He knew that. And my guys didn't know that.
No, everybody knows that. You should know that. Your lawyer tells you that.
My guys actually went out there and started pointing fingers and spilling the beans.
Yeah, no, but they should know that.
And now they were asked on that.
Mutatio Karsten says, I am going to make some oros now.
Oros, not oros.
Oh, yeah, oros.
Yeah.
Martin Emutoni says that was Mwapopi. I think it was on the comment by Hausiku Dixa, who said, I miss Ngipunya in the dock. Normal practice. Dion Chim Chisel says Ricardo sounded more like a PhD candidate compared to Uncle Mwapopi, but we move. We move. Who?
Accent is not a mark of intelligence, guys.
Yeah. Mike and Oatmeal messed up big time. I am sure the lawyers prepared them, but they jumped the gun because a lawyer prepares you how to respond to certain questions. I could see the lawyers shaking their heads, which shows that they didn't listen to them, in my view. That is what Riolinda Kambanda says.
No, it's possible.
Rihanna Jager says Mwapopi's cross-examination will be done January 2022.
Is it January or February?
It's February.
Is it February?
February.
Yeah.
It's February.
I listened to a little voice note of former Minister Meme Pentukeni Itana yesterday, where she says that she always suspected that the financial affairs of the party is in question.
The first time she's saying that.
Yeah, this is what she said. She's been questioning the bank accounts. She's been questioning the bank accounts of the party.
Yeah, it's not the first time she's bringing such claims forward. I think she said that during the Congress, there was already talks that people were kuverte, you know those brain kuverte, that there were envelopes being slipped from hand. She didn't get one, obviously, but for those that were targeted to vote a certain way, that there were already talks. This is obviously, you need to remember, this is prior to Fish Rod coming out. So she's giving everything, like, I think she's like, in retrospect, you know, like, okay, in retrospect, I can see that maybe this made sense. And she was saying that there were a lot of envelopes being pushed around, there was also a lot of money spending that
Didn't make sense.
didn't make sense. You need to remember also she was also the SG of the party at one point, and she said none of it made sense to her as the SG. Like, where was all this money coming from? People were staying at luxury hotels, you know, buses was bringing in people. I think they even spoke about the current president's bus that he had. Remember that branded bus?
Yeah, with the drones.
That was going around. Those leather jackets that we now know.
We'll come there.
No, I'm not going to go into them.
No, I have to go into them.
I'm just saying with Memi Pendukeni and others and so forth and so forth. So she's already been like, you know what, a lot of things were not making sense at the time. And now with the Fish Rod testimonies, she's saying it's now all making sense to her.
Now I know.
Roviera says, Owens, Fish Rod has nothing to do with family, guys. Daar is niks gesnoep nie. People went through things all because of these guys. Okay? People died, guys. They did not think of the consequences when they were doing what they were doing. I am neutral around the Fish Rod issue. I even grew up in front of the ex-fisheries minister. But he must face the music. There is no bad blood, guys. No, I respect what you say, Ro.
Yeah, but he's not neutral. Don't say you're neutral.
Yeah.
You're
We
not
know,
neutral.
man. We
And
know,
it's
Ro.
okay, Ro. Look, for the most part, we're just taking digs at you. But you're not neutral. Come on. You have an opinion about it, and it's fine. It's okay.
And you know what, Ro? If I have to distance myself from a guy like Ricardo, if I have to distance myself, everything that you say is true. What these guys did to the Namibian people, I mean, the consequences of the actions of these guys is inexcusable. Okay? So many people have lost their lives, their livelihoods. You can see the dynamics in Swakopmund. All the coast has changed completely politically because of what these guys have been doing. So I'll give you that. I will not say and as Maria says, you know, we love taking digs at you like you're taking digs at us. But then again, what digs?
So especially me,
Yeah.
taking digs at me. So
Yeah.
I'm just pushing you. So take it.
Yeah.
But we get your point.
Yeah, we definitely get your point. And it's not that I wanted to discuss this issue. It's Maria who brought this issue very subtly on the show.
Never
And
was
it's
nooit dronk toe gaan nie.
and
Because
it's
she
not,
knows the kids.
yeah, and it's not something it's not something that I feel is in public interest. Okay? But Maria decided to subtly slip this information.
Amma say.
Up get discussion. Up get discussion
You
game.
have an honest
Hallelujah.
body on podium.
Amma
So-
say the one.
So this issue, and we wanted to discuss it yesterday, but obviously, and it's got everything to do with these Swapo leather
Jackets.
jackets.
Those
The
jackets.
Swapo leather jackets. I think it's beautiful jackets. That's what I feel.
If you
I
like
loved
blue,
it.
red and green combination.
Swapo Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa has refused to comment on questions by IPC President Panduleni Itula about how 4 tailor-made leather jackets in the Swapo party colors were produced. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with Itula. Yeah, let me just
Is
put
it
it
just
there.
4?
Yeah, it's just 4 anyway. I don't know. It's not even 5 leather jackets. It's only 4.
For
Okay.
the 4.
Yeah. Itula asked the question over the weekend at Swakopmund following claims made over the past 2 weeks during a bail hearing of 6 of the men charged in the so-called fish rod case. Itula asked Shaningwa to explain how leather jackets in SWAPO colors seen worn by the party's top leaders were procured, and if they were gifts, who acquired them and from whom. Itula also wanted to know how SWAPO managed to obtain fishing quotas, a claim made during the High Court hearing over the past 2 weeks. He said they have to answer the Namibian people because there is no provision in the Fisheries Act to allocate fishing quotas to political parties. Hierdie Itula ne. Yeah.
Leave Dr. Article.
We should now go and get ours. You don't have to apply. By the way,
Sorry, before we start discussing, I just need to read Shalago's comments. Is IPC se press soek net 'n plug mos. Hy wil seker ook 'n jacket maak vir hierdie vir wat? Maak vir die hike mos or what? I don't understand. Anyway. Yeah, maybe you just want the context.
Guys, let's just be honest. Let's ask this question. What other party has fishing quotas?
it seems clear that no other party has fishing quotas
SWAPO
except.
doesn't have fishing quotas.
That's what gesê is van
No,
Dr.
but-
Article.
Yeah, but the name SWAPO does not appear on any fishing quotas. What I'm saying.
Ooh.
Okay, if then Itula ne, and it's these things of Itula. ne.
Dr. Article, as I believe.
Sorry, this Dr. Article who accused
the People's Party,
the Maniki, of having fishing quotas as nonsense. So obviously, what he's trying to get to is that the party is acquired or basically reaped off the benefits of the quotas. Or what is he talking about?
No, obviously, he's trying to show that they're implicated in that.
Uh-huh.
Benefited from the fish rod. But I think given the amounts we've heard, I mean, I know Nipunya is claiming 85 million. I think the state is claiming 6 million that SWAPO benefited and so forth. I think if you look at the amounts, in the grand scheme of things, I think the focus is, for me, it's, you are focusing on clinkies. You know, I mean,
Like
4
the
leather
jackets.
jackets, like I'm sure if they're really expensive, perhaps it's 10K a piece. If they're really expensive.
No, it's 1 million a piece. You know.
If I want to
SWAPO doesn't roll
exaggerate
like
the
that.
amount, right? It would be 10K a piece. I'm thinking less.
How much
But
is a
it's-
leather jacket? Is a good leather jacket
a
around
good-
10?
but this is a customized one.
Ne?
From
This
who?
is a custom.
That's what Dr. Article is
Yes.
asking.
Okay, but let me make the point I'm trying to make. If these are customized, and like I said, like this is really me maximizing the potential price
Cost.
tag on that would be like 10K. 4 leather jackets comes up to 40K, but we're talking about money in the millions. You understand? So I feel like, okay, you can talk about jackets in the same way that Meme Pendukeni spoke about jackets, like, and other things. Jackets, hotels, bars, you know, things that add up, and others. But if you just want to focus on jacket, you're actually kind of almost making a mockery of this, because that is clean hell
As
compared
clean
to
goede.
what we are talking.
Yeah.
The amounts that are being spoken about out of the court as groot amounts for you to be focused on jackets.
Yeah.
But
Like,
Maria,
let us just
coming
take,
from a
take your politics seriously is all I'm saying.
you don't understand that coming from a guy that has only one suit, a jacket would be a big deal.
Yeah, the
As a
guy
brief.
only has one suit. I agree with you.
Yeah, a jacket would be like you have 4.
Yeah.
As a dentist.
Yeah. Chris Kala Puse 02. Chris Kala, how do I pronounce the third name?
Pause.
Is it Puse or what?
Pause.
Gustavo punished his own kids because he was busy eating the mullah and didn't think of other people's kids. Now the tables has turned on him, so I have no mercy for any, and I mean any of the fish rod guys. They're selfish. All they care for is a lavish life. Maxwell Chiero says, listening to Gustavo speak boosted my English data bundles. My English went from ordinary level to a higher level. Bradley Kuvisep says, I never knew that Oros could ever be pronounced like Gustavo did yesterday. We learn daily. Martin Mutoni, Mike Shudifonia, and Mwapopi went to a combined school while Gustavo went to a private school. Martin Mutoli, so Kuma, you are glowing these days. You wonder why you are glowing.
Why are you glowing?
Yeah. It was
Isn't
nice,
it the same
though.
person that was trying to insinuate that ek swanger is? Iman on the stream was, guys, please. Firstly, if I was pregnant, you would be the last to know.
Hey, it's family tate so. We will be the first to know.
Very.
Yeah.
Neville, die ons moet net baie dankie sê. Hulle het nie met dat Damara hierdie geld geëet die van hierdie case al nou klaar was. Seriously.
Why would you say so?
Even Jason, they Damara who's a lawyer who said and sweated. No, we didn't. I didn't stab him. I shoot him with the gun and stab him twice. Don't lie in my name. Don't lie. And that money was even
said. So he come no.
Nigel.
Who's Damara?
Oh, is he bastard?
Who?
Nigel van Beek.
Yeah.
These guys, they must know.
That's no, I mean colored. Probably colored.
No, I don't
colored.
think colored, no.
It's over. It's over with this case if that guy's on
Yeah,
the
maar
stand.
het moest first say Bassa gestaan by is wat hy moest toegemaak.
Oh, is he the guy
Yeah, he's the
that
third
drove
guy.
to the farm to go and retrieve what, and
No,
there
he
was.
drove to Saki's house. But at the farm, it's the first time he got arrested was when the ACC arrived to arrest him.
Oh.
Jy ken mos.
Toen was hy toegemaak.
Ons
Then he
hou
was
mos van
released
standby.
And then he was found removing documents from Saki's house. Then he was arrested.
Saki's house where? Here in Windhoek?
Yeah, here in Windhoek.
Ons hou van standby. Jy ken mos ons standby ons. Jy ken mos. Moenie vir Saki Saki was iemand die huis nie man. Kyk as daai so te voel jy goed.
But you know, this is where I
This
feel
case will be
bad.
over.
This is where you know. So they've included Nigel in this fish rod case, which is so preposterous because he had he worked for them, right? But it's not like money was necessarily diverted through his accounts, through others. Yes, I mean, I feel like you can arrest a guy and say tampering with evidence and obstruction and daigutna. Arrest him and charge him for that. But now he's actually one of the 10 men. He's been now included in the fish rod. So this guy's going to sit through 163 state witnesses in the Nemgoma case and about 160 or 70 from the Fishco case that have absolutely
nothing to do with him.
Next met om te doen nie.
Soos
Nothing
Nigel
to
dat
do
so
with
sê hy pomps
and
en
every
soos
day your
Paul.
lawyer is in court, they have, and I think partly that was what Gustavo also presented to the court. He says, with a joiner application to now join the Nemgoma and the Fishco case,
It's going to prolong.
it's going to prolong him and it's going to have him sit through statements that have nothing to do, because his affairs have nothing to do with Fishco. He was never involved in that entity, nothing. His thing was Nemgoma. And I think it's also the reverse true for Mike, who was also just initially in the Fishco case, but not in the Nemgoma. He's also going to sit through 160 plus testimonies that have nothing to do with this case. So I think even the state, I still don't understand why Christy Liebenberg approved this application when it doesn't make sense. And especially for a guy like Nigel.
He was supposed to be already charged,
I mean,
bruh.
the guy was charged not because they found his money being diverted here or there. The guy was arrested because he was found taking out files. Toe sy gesê, "Oh, J Belmos,
Kom hier so. Tampering with evidence. Maar Nigel pomps en soos hy nou daar sit.
But then you have real people that apparently diverted money, like some lawyers. Maar hulle sê in die tronkie, maar Nigel is daar. If there's one person that I feel was
get bailed.
just thrown in there in the mix and is just being punished, it's Nigel.
I have a new guy. Now it's Mike and Nigel.
Ay, maar kan gaan.
But guys, if
Maria.
Nigel is on that stand, just forget it.
Wat is your beef met Mike?
I saw in that documentary van
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera, Mike being secretly recorded say, "Hey, if you want the fishing quotas," he was doing dirty dealings that had nothing to do even with the fish.
Hello.
How do you know that was Mike?
The man was
You don't
a
know.
consultant He was doing consultancy work.
Consultancy
using,
work.
using his position as CEO of Fishco to make money to self-enrich. There is, sorry, I guess Baya Jamar. Let's keep it moving.
Listen, I will Google the word consultant for you because you don't understand Mike's English, man.
Okay, so what do we expect in court today? That's
I've already given.
Oh, yeah.
I said
No, that's
that
true,
Who's,
yeah.
who's going to be cross-examined? most
yeah.
likely.
So guys, yeah, we
Wat is in die
basically
koerant vandag?
nee wat daar's nie regtig nie.
Never can
Time is over.
lees.
Nee, jy kan lees.
A consultant is a person who provides professional and expert advice in a particular field, science or business.
Since you're on Google conflict of interest.
No, I can't Google that because of my client. Mike, he said there's no problem in that. Mike said there's no problem. If Mike says that, I agree.
Imagine your annual salary as the CEO of a SOE is around $1 million annual salary, and your consulting services, you get $4 million.
It's the agreement. It's
And
the
it's in
agreement.
fishing, and it's with quotas, and it's with business, with fish. Mensen, soms ne, julle speel met die lewe. I don't know how anybody would do all those things and think they won't eventually get caught. I know sometimes people, there's been a lot of confidence given to a lot of people because a lot of people in this country have gotten away with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But me, I'm a personal believer in anything done in the dark shall eventually come to light.
Hello, stop
But you
net
get
daar.
why we like, why you know why we're laughing there? It's because my guy didn't find a problem with it. He said like, okay, I'm the CEO, I'm giving out these tenders, and I'll consult the companies that I tender to. And it was
Unfortunately,
us like,
So a
really?
lot of people don't find it also wrong when they pay a traffic officer a bribe because, like I said, that is the environment in which we operate. Like the lines become blur, or what is ethics, what is moral, and what is principles. The principles, moral and ethics, in which we do conduct ourselves and conduct business, the lines become very, very blurry in this country. And like I said, it will come to light, not just fish rod.
Luister.
Julle het mos gehoor van diamonds. Julle het mos gehoor van hospitaal tenda. Julle het mos nog gehoor van
August
die en
26.
die.
Stop net daar.
Die goed sal uitkom.
Stop net daar. I don't like that statement you are making.
Yeah.
Yeah, that everything that's in the dark will come to light.
Even
Yeah.
relationship stuff.
Hey!
Okay,
Shut
look,
up. Shut up.
Hey.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah. On the
No, don't say stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Some things must stay in the dark.
Dankie. Dankie.
You know, glow in the dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. Mara, come out.
Guys, you all have a blessed day today. See you guys
Oh,
tomorrow.
is it already 10?
All cool, all cool.
Shut
Sorry, just
up.
quickly before ons gaan. Wat is iemand mense raak kwaad want kom maar they're telling us to talk about Jerry Canyon. What did Jerry come on?
I don't know. We can talk about Jerry tomorrow.
Sorry, Taishon, I know you suggested.
Comments.
We actually don't. No, we have to go. We actually don't know what Jerry Kanjo did, but we will go and read up about it and unpack tomorrow. Yeah.
Chop.
Shate Sean en Almal en Roviera en Menzo.
Nou, wat het nou hier gebeur? Hey, okay.